Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's broadcast. Happy to be here. For those of you that are viewing me right now live, I'm Dr. Patella with the Diabetes Free Life Group. Welcome to all the new members in our group. It is absolutely awesome to see the family growing the way it is. We're happy to have you here with us this evening. What I want to do is I just want to give everybody a chance to just kind of be jumping on right now. And for all of you that are new people here to the group, what I want to say is this is kind of our weekly series that I get together with you guys, and I call it the Wellness Wednesday. It's where I present on topics that our patients actually use to actually reverse their diabetes. And it's true, you can live a diabetes-free life. And it doesn't have to be ridiculously hard, but I do want to share you, and I want you to know that it has to be ridiculously specific. If you've attended one of our master classes in the past, you know that in order to live a diabetes-free life, you have to be able to put words to all the unique causes of your condition. That's right, I said unique. You know, you'd kind of be forgiven if you just believe that every single type 2 diabetic patient that's out there, every single person is the same, and you guys are all diabetics because of the same reasons. But I want you to know that's not the case. You know, if you've been to one of our master classes, you know what I'm talking about. What is it? You know, what's the thing? What's the things that are causing your type 2 diabetes? You have to find out, and you haven't found out yet. You know, sometimes I take that for granted because that's the way I practice, that our type 2 diabetic patients can actually reverse their condition. But they got to know the cause in the first place. And sometimes I forget that not every diabetic patient that's out there understands what their unique causes, what their unique problems are. So keep leaning into the drivers of your disease. And unfortunately, when we don't realize what those are, unknowingly, you just don't know, well, what's going to happen is your condition, you're going to continue to perpetuate your diabetes. And that perpetuation, unfortunately, with so many diabetics, inevitably leads to death, leads to destruction. And it always happens with diabetics. It's just whether or not it happens quickly or if it happens slowly over time. You know, I was reminded again of this today. I was reading an article recently on NBC News site, and the article, I'll say it like this nobly, but I'm putting my quotation fingers out there, nobly went on to describe a diabetic patient and their struggles with their diabetes. You know, the weight gain, the fatigue, the irritability. By the way, I posted it to here in this video, so you guys can take a look at that as well. I want to make sure that you guys are getting cutting edge information. But you know, it talked about her weight gain, that fatigue, the irritability, the neuropathies, the cravings, like, oh my, the cravings, right? You guys know about those, right? The article described this lady's experience, and it described her experience with modern medicine and what I like to call the modern medicine machine. And it's not great, right? Garbage results year in and year out, by the way. You guys know this. She felt her doctors were just missing something, not listening to her. You know, the usual experience when you go to the doctor's office is they just look at you, they point their fingers at you. Maybe they're not pointing, but they're thinking it. And they just blame you. Like it can't be their doctoring skills, right? No, we can't think of that, right? Anyway, this lady started asking questions, and she found out that she really didn't have type 2 diabetes at all. Yeah, she had high blood sugar, she had obesity, she had high blood pressure, all those things, right? But the underlying cause was actually an autoimmune disease. And the doctors were actually flabbergasted. See, in the realm of type 2 diabetes, the realm of diabetes treatment, you know, most providers, they just class a person either one of two things. They either class you as a type 1 diabetic, that's juvenile diabetes, by the way, or a type 2, adult onset. And that's it, finished. End of their search mission, by the way. Remember, type 1 usually means there's no insulin production. And type 2, well, type 2 is almost the absolute opposite, too much insulin. Hence, usually all the added body weight over time. Anyway, this lady was getting treated like the standard of care that's out there for type 2 diabetes patients. And she was just getting sicker and sicker day in and day out. Not your standard type 2 situation where you get sicker and sicker over time. No, she was sprinting towards complications. And what she did was she demanded someone look at her more deeply. And you know what they found? They found what I've been looking for almost 2 decades now. They found out that she was unique. They found out that she had unique causes for her high blood sugars. They found out she was a type 1.5 autoimmune diabetic, and it's called LADA, latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood. Well, no joke. Like, you can tell by just looking at her, this poor lady. Like, it's not rocket science. But anyway, LADA is a situation where your immune system of the type 2 diabetic patient starts to attack the pancreas. Your pancreas produces something called insulin. And what happened was it starts attacking the enzymes that help you maintain pancreatic function or insulin itself. If your immune system encounters, like, we'll use the example of a virus, what happens? Well, you get sick, you get a fever, and you feel awful, right? I want you to think about this. If your immune system is attacking a hormone that your body is supposed to produce, like insulin, because either your doctors are forcing you to make a lot more of it by taking things like glipizide, glyburide, or worse yet, taking injections like a needle, how do you think your body's going to respond? The exact same way. If your immune system is the driver of your type 2 diabetes and you don't know it, you're going to have a terrible time in the standard of care that's out there because they're not looking for it. There's no way of getting around that fact. You wind up getting more and more symptoms. The neuropathies continue to progress, the fatigue, the blurry vision, the body weight issues, seriously, all the time, just building up, and it's no bueno. What's interesting is that about 10% of all diabetic patients are walking around and they have no idea that they actually have an autoimmune condition, like I said, called LADA. It's unknown because no one's looking for it. And for me, honestly, it's heartbreaking. Really, it is. So the article went on and it started describing how relieved the person was because now she knew there was something more than just type 2 diabetes. Okay. In the article, it describes how she felt like she was getting answers. Now, here's the rub that I want to share with you. Did it change her outcome? No. Did it make her walk away from diabetes? No. Was she still seeing out of control diabetes numbers? Yes. Was her disease just perpetuating? Yes, yes, and yes. Are you seeing this? LADA doesn't change the standard of care strategy in the long run. It doesn't. What does it do? It just reallocates a different set of new drugs, right? They just shuffle new prescriptions in. They shuffle the old ones out and bring in new ones. And by the way, there's a ton of them out there. But what I find kind of sad was she was happy. She was happy because she was given a reason, for the garbage results that she had been seeing for such a long period of time. And that's sad to me if you really think about it. I think it's frustrating to see it. Like if you're like the 8, 9, 10% of people who are out there with this undiagnosed autoimmune condition and you're getting run over by these symptoms like the neuropathies, the fatigue, the brain fog, it's low libido, retinopathies, eye issues, it's destroying your life. Like you need your health back. Not another reason to just give up, not another reason to just accept the negative vision of the future. That's all BS. You have control over your outcomes. And these LADA autoimmune patients with diabetes are no exception, right? So here's the secret. Your lifestyle and environment are the roots. Your disease and symptoms are absolutely the fruits. I want you to let that sink in here for just a second, right? Autoimmune disease or not, you're not destined to be broken. And I want you to hear that today. I think someone needs to hear that today. You're not broken. Your body heals. If you cut yourself, it heals the edges of your cut together every single time, as long as you stop dragging a knife over the edge every single morning, right? Can you see what I'm saying? Hopefully you do. You'd never heal if you just kept cutting yourself. The lifestyle, the environment is kind of the knife blade. You'll never, if you've never heard this from the doctor, or your doctors that you're working with, if your doctors don't talk like this, it's because you've never heard a doctor that's willing to help you get better, to help you heal, to help you actually reverse your diabetes, to walk away from it. The diabetes-free life is not about managing or controlling your diabetes. And you guys come in, and when I meet with you, that's what you said. Well, I want to manage my diabetes. I want to control my diabetes. It's not a diabetes-free life. It's about healing. It's about walking away from the drugs, the diets, the daily injections, right? It's about finally walking away from this problem. If you want to think about what that means for you, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to put it in the comment section. I want to see it. I want you to hit a thumbs up. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, hit the thumbs up. If you're on a quest right now, if you realize you're the only person who's going to be able to make these kind of decisions for yourself, if you're on a quest to actually say, I'm going to find out all the unique reasons, all the root causes of why I'm a diabetic, maybe like this lady that we're talking about in this article here today. Maybe you have an autoimmune disease that's causing your diabetes. Maybe it's a toxicity. Maybe your body doesn't like all the farming chemicals that are out there that are unknowingly, for many people, causing diabetes in the first place. Maybe your doctor, if we can be honest, is just mailing it in. Maybe your doctor doesn't know how to find all the root causes, how to find the path to help you lead a diabetes-free life. All right, let's end it for there. Thanks for being on with me this evening live. I want to wish you all a great evening. Blessings to you all, and I'm going to see you next time.